Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday Thoughts video, and today is episode 3 of my silly season survival tips, and it's all about hangovers, so listen carefully. Just before I get into the topic, there are, as at time of recording, still 2 places left on my new client list up until Christmas, so if you want to snap one of those up, please get in touch with me. I will put a link below to allow you to do that. So let's get into it. I hope your silly season is going well so far, and if you've missed the first 2 episodes, one was about sleep and number 2 was about food, both 2 of my favourite topics, and if you've missed them, please have a look on the Facebook page or on my blog and you can catch them as well. So, have you ever had a hangover? Remember, Santa is listening to your answer. Don't tell a fib now. Unfortunately, most people who do consume alcohol will invariably have to honestly answer yes. So it's very easy to overindulge, especially at this time of year when there are so many celebrations going on and when you're out with family or friends or colleagues and having a nice time, having a few drinks, and really trying to have a bit of an escape from the stresses that you're going through in general, especially at this time of year again. And before you know it, you've certainly had way more than your standard drink an hour, probably haven't drunk enough water either, and quite possibly also have not had enough to eat or anything to eat, all of which can lead to a hangover. So what is a hangover? Basically, it's really just a group of symptoms. These symptoms can be things like feeling nauseous, actually vomiting or having diarrhea, having bloodshot eyes, feeling cold, having a headache, feeling very fatigued. So sensitivity to light or sound is also a common symptom. So what I wanted to talk about is how to prevent that and also how to deal with it if you do get one. Basically, the things I'm going to talk about apply in both cases. So doing them will help you to prevent a hangover. If you don't quite manage to do them in time, then doing them will help you to get through a hangover a lot better than you otherwise would. So first thing I wanted to mention, of course, is the best way to prevent a hangover is not to drink too much to start with. Why not nominate yourself as the designated driver so you can't overindulge? Why not book yourself a really important appointment? How about Reiki the next morning to make sure that you have a really good reason to get up and not feel terrible? So just keeping an eye on how much you're drinking, obviously, is going to help you avoid a hangover. Other than that obvious tip, the first thing I wanted to talk about is water. Hangover symptoms are very much dependent on dehydration. Alcohol actually dehydrates the body, and if we don't drink water at the same time as we're drinking alcohol, then a hangover is very likely to occur. Now, as I mentioned, the same thing also applies. If you do actually have a hangover, then drinking water is absolutely crucial to help you recover faster. So you really need to rehydrate your system. If you can drink filtered water or soda water to prevent adding any further toxins that we can get from tap water into your body when it's already been pummeled the night before, that would be really good. Don't drink soft drinks, and that goes as well for when you are drinking. Don't assume that because you're drinking a mixed drink that contains a soft drink, you don't need to drink water. Soft drinks actually dehydrate us as well. So make sure that you are drinking water regardless of how you're consuming your alcohol, and don't be tempted to have a Coke the next day because it seems like a good idea. And the other thing not to drink the next day if you do have a hangover is coffee. So again, caffeine dehydrates us as well. So all of those alcohol, caffeine and soft drinks are all diuretic. They all make us go to the toilet more, and that means we lose moisture, we lose water out of our body. Okay, sleep. Yes, it is one of my favourite topics, and sleep is something that will also help you to prevent a hangover. So trying to make sure that you allow enough hours in the night, not staying up till 3 a.m. and having to get up at 7. Alcohol, again, will actually affect the quality and quantity of our sleep, so try to make sure you have enough hours at least to get a decent sleep in will help reduce your hangover symptoms. And if you do have a hangover and you can try and sleep it off, that actually is one of the best ways to deal with it. So if you don't have to get up the next morning, then sleeping a lot will help you deal with your hangover. I did want to mention types of alcohol. So some types of alcohol can have larger, stronger hangover symptoms than others. So basically the reason that we get a hangover from drinking too much alcohol is that alcohol needs to be broken down by the body. When you drink more than your standard drink an hour, your body can't keep up and can't keep breaking it down, and therefore it gets stored temporarily, and that's what causes the symptoms of hangover. So some alcohol, that which is produced through fermentation, will also produce some toxic byproducts. The worst of these is known as congeners, and these are found in very high levels in drinks such as whiskey, bourbon, tequila. Clear alcohol such as gin or vodka or rum, white rum, have much lower levels of congeners and therefore less likely to cause hangovers. However, I do want to put a personal note in and say that the worst hangover I ever had was after a night of drinking gin and tonic all night. Bear in mind that many alcoholic drinks, especially wine and beer, also contain preservatives, and as mentioned in episode 2, our bodies are not designed to break down preservatives, and if you're consuming alcoholic drinks that also contain them, that's going to add to that toxic overload on your body. You can buy preservative-free wine, but it is more expensive, of course. Okay, food. So hangover symptoms can be a lot more prevalent when you have low blood sugar. So this is caused when you don't eat enough around the time that you're drinking. So ideally, the old wives' tale of having a full stomach before you go out is actually true. Alcohol also increases the production of stomach acid, and if you have food in your stomach, that gives that acid something to do. That's what it's designed to do, is break down food. So eating is really a good idea. Having that late night kebab is actually not a stupid idea. Of course, I would recommend that you have something that's highly nutritious, but actually having something to eat when you come home after a night of heavy drinking is actually not a bad idea. The next day, if you have a hangover, if you can, again, eating something highly nutritious is going to help. Often, of course, we're feeling nauseous and can't stomach the idea of eating anything, so eating plain foods, toast or crackers, is the best option there. And also, if you absolutely can't eat anything, then don't, just sleep and drink lots of water. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and perhaps the most important, is essential oils. So this is not something I'm so much suggesting as a preventative measure, but as something to use when you do actually have a hangover. First one I wanted to mention is a doTERRA blend called DigestZen. This is fantastic for any kind of digestive issue and is brilliant for helping nausea and settling your stomach down if you do have a hangover. Peppermint is the second one. Peppermint is a wonderful painkiller, so it's an analgesic. Great for if you have a headache. So the best possible thing to do with peppermint when you have a headache is put 1 drop under your tongue, 1 drop on the soft palate, which is the back of the top of your mouth, and literally the headache goes within a few minutes. It's absolutely amazing. You can also apply it topically to temples, to the back of your neck. It's really cooling, calming effect as well. Peppermint actually is also energizing, so if you are not in the lucky situation that you can go back to bed and sleep it off, it will actually help to wake you up. Next one is lemon or grapefruit. So these citruses are really great for helping your liver to break down alcohol. The liver is where alcohol is actually broken down. So You can rub these oils, so you can apply them topically over the liver area, which is the top half of your abdomen on the right side. You can actually put it on. If you've got sensitive skin, make sure you're using a carrier oil or some sorbeline to apply it. You can also drink lemon or grapefruit juice in water. So if you add some of that to your water, that's going to help. If you're using certified pure therapeutic grade oils, you can also consume them. So putting 4 drops in half a glass of water and taking it every 4 to 6 hours will be really beneficial for getting you through your hangover. Citrus oils are also really uplifting. So a lot of the time we feel pretty down when we have a hangover, and if you use citrus oils, even if you're just diffusing them and inhaling them, rubbing them on your hand, breathing it in, that's going to help elevate your mood as well. I couldn't finish without mentioning Reiki. Reiki is fantastic when you've got a hangover. So Reiki is going to work on all levels of energy within the body, so physical, mental, emotional and spiritual. And a lot of the time these are all very out of balance when we have a hangover. We are not designed to overconsume alcohol. So Reiki is going to be conducted for you in a darkened room. It's quiet, it's really relaxing, and sounds pretty heavenly, in fact, when you have a hangover. The other thing to keep in mind is, of course, you don't actually have to go and visit a Reiki practitioner. You can get a Reiki treatment by distance. As long as they have a Reiki 2 qualification, your practitioner will be able to send you Reiki via distance, so you can actually do it from the comfort of your own darkened bedroom at home. So why not book in a Reiki appointment for the day after your next Christmas party? What a great idea. You know you are going to thank yourself for doing that. All right. If you want any further information about anything I've covered today or about anything else to do with your well-being, please feel free to get in contact with me. Enjoy the silly season. Remember, you do need to be silly occasionally, but that should not involve overconsumption of alcohol without taking all the measures I've talked about today. Have a great night. Bye.